Hey guys, Josh here. I'm just going to run a very quick demo of the new high quality article beta version that we have of the AI that uses chain of thought ideation to think like an SEO consultant and build your article. So I'm going to very quickly demo this new article builder. Before I do, I just want to remind everyone of the steps everybody should go through before you write your article. One, in keyword discovery, you need to discover the ranking keywords. You need to go into keyword discovery and find the ranking opportunities to find the keywords that are the easiest to rank for that will make you or your client the most money. You don't want to rank for useless informational queries. You want to rank for the queries that make money and that are the easiest. That's step one you have to do. Then step two, after you've gotten the best keywords to try to rank for, you need to run a report here in reports and find the boosting keywords. What you do is you click this and you put in your keyword from keyword discovery, or from keyword discovery, you can automatically launch a keyword spy report. You put in the location that's relevant, or I like to use neutral locations like Tuvalu, for example, or sometimes I like to use China. You might want to look in the advanced options to make sure you're doing English in Google.com. I would leave these alone and keep these as the normal tests, and then you'd start keyword report. Once that's done, then you have all the reports listed here. Now, here's where we're going to get to the high quality articles. You can click this button here to start an article. In the report screen, you can also click article builder here, or you can click the actual name, and then you will get an article like this. And then what you click is generate article. So if I generate an article, I'll generate it over this, which is fine. I'm just doing this for a demo. So when you click generate article, here's the new high quality version 2 beta. There's two things that we're doing now that we didn't do before that are highly important for ranking. One is the PSQI, we call it, the primary and secondary query intent. That should be the topic of the article. I'm going to make this bigger so you can see. If people are searching for SEO optimization course, you might think it's obvious as to what they want, but it's not. Google has an AI which determines, based probably on clicks, what users want and what users need for any given query. And you as a human may not be able to guess, and you might be surprised. There are certain queries, for example, like link building specialist, where you'd think that they want to hire a link builder, but Google says, no. Whether people want that or Google will allow that, Google actually ranks job description roles for a link building specialist under that query. So you never really know, and you've got to match the PSQI, the query intent of your competitors. So our AI automatically detects this. I can show you it here. Under BERT, under our vector embeddings, under transformer, we find not only the best BERT entities analysis that are being used both by your competitors, but that the BERT algorithm might find. And as you remember, BERT is a major ranking factor, a major algorithm that Google uses. We also detect of your competitors the primary and secondary query intent from here. The other one here that we're doing is the match AI analysis of competitor page type. Page type is very important for SEO. As you know, is it a review page? Is it an e-commerce page? Is it an informational page? Is it a photo gallery page? Is it a video page? What kind of page? Is it an affiliate page? Is it a long sales letter page? Is it a sales page? Is it an informational page? What kind of page is it? So I recommend you keep this text. If you keep this text and leave this alone, you'll use what our system has automatically analyzed, the document object model of your competitors. And we have that here under competitor HTML widgets. And you can see this, what was common among all the top 10 is using these classes, these exact comments. And this is what, and having a main content and an image block is the only thing that was really common amongst the top 10 for this. And so this, we amalgamate that, our AI analyzes that and makes an amalgamation of the HTML that was most common, or what I like to call the DOM vector, the document object model of vector embeddings, the vector, the statistical direction, if you will, in which all those HTML pages were pointing towards. This is what they're pointing towards and what was common among them. And for different reports, you'll see it's different. The SEO optimization course is not that impressive, but if we look here, maybe for Jaguar XF boot struts, and we go here to the comp HTML widgets, it might be a bit more extensive. Oh no, this one didn't. Okay, so if it fails, you get to the chance to rerun it here, which is interesting. And then the BERT is done, but the HTML widget failed. The AI can fail sometimes, and then sometimes we get bad data from our APIs. So you can click here to rerun the report, and it'll rerun. That's not a problem. Let's see if I can find one here which has a good, maybe this Porta Vallarta one has. Comp HTML widgets. Yeah, you see here's much more extensive. See, all the pages were much more similar, and you're getting a table with data that the AI is going to fill in for you. You're getting the classes they were using. You're getting further explanation on content. You're getting general template with template information that the AI is analyzing and saying, hey, you need a hero image at the top. And so that one was much more easy for the AI to analyze and say, hey, this is the same on all these pages, which makes sense. This is probably a vacation pages, right? Porto Galera, dive sites, which I believe is in the Philippines. And that's why Rhoda, my Rai assistant, uses one. It's in the Philippines, close to her. So yeah, that one was much better in terms of the template. So you're going to see that kind of thing for your kind of content. So let's go back to reports here. So that report's running. So let's go here to this article builder again. So let's go back to the generate article here. So I would leave these two alone. The AI has analyzed it. And the reason why I did it and spent money and spent the time to build this is because it's going to help you rank tremendously. We have really good preliminary results of ranking nowhere to spot number 8, and then from nowhere to spot number 4 within 48 hours of articles that were generated by this system. And they didn't even have the big 4 scores all perfect, which I'm going to talk about in a second. The third very exciting feature in the new high quality beta article is the custom knowledge base. You can click this and upload a text file. And when you upload a text file to the document, it'll append it to the AI, and the AI will analyze that. And in this text file, let me show you an example. So what you would do is you would give it a custom knowledge base. It doesn't have to necessarily say custom knowledge base, but it does have to have a .text extension. And in this document, you would give it instructions. You can give it an author bio. You can give it your Twitter handle. You can give it writing instructions. And I did this one for CBD oil for cats with a new fictitious product called Ultra Pet TM oil for cats. And you see it will use this content to the degree that your custom knowledge base coheres with the primary query intent and the AI analysis of HTML. To the degree that your custom knowledge base coheres with this, it will use that content. If your query intent and your DOM vector your page type does not cohere with the instructions you're giving it in this file, it will ignore this file because these are more important for you to get right. So you can override it. I could type in here whatever topic I want and it'll use it. I could type in here whatever instructions for the page type I want, like just making me a normal informational page, blah, 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 whatever. And it'll do that and then use the custom knowledge base and upload it, and it should override the default settings, and it should produce an article that is dipping into this information here. Just make sure you give it good instructions for what you want it to do and make it pretty clear. The smaller this is, the better. So if you have e-commerce products you want to use, you can do that. You can say, make me an e-commerce page if the competitors aren't e-commerce pages. But quite frankly, my AI is going to detect that, right? And the AI is saying, hey, look at this is what Google wants to rank on these pages. You deviate from this at your own risk, right? And I would not recommend deviating from this. I gave the human the option to override it and use a custom knowledge base as well. In the future in the system, the custom knowledge base will be based on per project. So you can have every client, you can have your own customer knowledge base, or every website, you can have your own custom knowledge base with the custom knowledge you need to write for that area. It can also have writing instructions like, I have writing instructions here. What the objective is, the key points to cover, briefly introduce it, provide clear instructions. Your writing instructions could be, please always write from this perspective and do this and do that and blah, 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 blah. And so you can override the normal way it writes. It writes from an expert perspective because that's what Google has said and what our tests have proven Google wants. Google doesn't want amateurs content to rank. Google does not want someone who's new to the industry, their content to rank number 1. They want EAT. They want expertise, experience, authority, and trust. They want you to be an expert and be writing this from an expert perspective or faking it with our AI, right? Because our AI can fake it better than probably most humans who are actually experts because it knows the entirety of the internet. So, and our chain of thought ideation will prove it. We'll make sure it's factual. We'll make sure it's up to date. We have a lot of engineering that goes behind this. It's very exciting. It's very new and bleeding edge. So then what you would do is you would use the custom knowledge base. I would keep the instructions, or if you want to use the custom knowledge base, it has to cohere with these instructions here if you want to maximize it being used. Otherwise, I would write in your own instructions here if you want to deviate, and you deviate at your own risk. It is a major ranking factor. I do not recommend you do so. Anyway, let's say continue here, and it's going to run for a few minutes. Now, it's going to run this article CP, which is the character name we've given the AI that we're building that you can work with. it's going to take some time. It's going to rewrite the article up to 10 times to try to get both the spam score in the green and try to get the heat score in the green. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So the spam score is listed. Let's look at this one here. So here's the spam score. It's going to try to get that into green. Here's the heat score. It's going to try to get that into green. The spam score is very important. Let me go to an article that exists. Let's see. Do we have an article for this? Yeah. So the spam score is very important. It is going to tell you how spammy your page is. And this does strongly correlate statistically with rankings. So you do want to make sure all these big four scores are in the green. All of these four scores highly correlate with rankings. So it says the title spam is the worst one, and it's perfectly fine. It's 0 out of 5. You see we have all these spam scores here for the URL, for the title, for the description, for the H1, and for the body content. And this one, the body content, is usually what it'll show. And it says the content provided is informative and well-structured, providing a comprehensive guide on traveling to Puerto Galera from Manila. It does not seem to be keyword stuffing or using the banned phrases arbitrarily. What are the banned phrases? The banned phrases are all of the CMQs, the variations of query interpretation that Google does. And we know they do this for a fact. They've said they do this. The query interpretation that Google does for the searches. So if you search link building specialist, an exact equivalent search might be link building job description. That is a one-to-one equivalent search as far as Google's concerned. And our AI detects that. And so we put that in here. And if you stuff any of those keywords in there too much, you're going to have a problem with the latest spam updates that's been going on. So also you can see whether you stuffed it too much with the EMQ here in the SEO recommendations. And last but not least, you can see also if you stuffed it too much in the headers. And last but not least, the missing spread keywords. You want to see if you have too many of these here. Those are all the SEO recommendations. And our AI, as it's analyzing the high quality article as it's running here, it's going to try to run it 5 times to get the highest spam score, which you see here, it nailed it. And it's going to run the heat score 5 times to make sure that you don't have any bad low helpfulness in the article. You don't have low experience words in the article. You don't show amateurish wording and amateurish opinions about this subject matter. You're an expert. You have the authority and the trust. And we've made proprietary objective scores for this that nobody else has. I'll be patenting these very soon, that we use AI to analyze, that is highly correlated, statistically correlated with rankings. I'll tell you, I would admit, the one that correlates with rankings the most is the semantic score. This within 1 or 2 percentage points out of hundreds of thousands of records. That is by far well past the scientific threshold. Science has a standard mathematical threshold for when you've hit statistical validity and you know your statistical study is valid. We are far beyond the number of statistical records required to have statistical validity in this. When I say your semantic score needs to be between 78 and 88, you can take that to the bank. That is a statistical, valid, scientific proof from our comprehensive statistical data correlative analysis. That's what I partly studied in my graduate studies, in my master's degree and my PhD. So that's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing because now we've taken the guessing out. You don't have to guess what is important for on-page ranking. We have statistical proof that this is what is important for ranking. But I'll tell you the order for sure. Semantic score is the first. Average predictability is the second. Spam is the third, and a very close second to this one. And then heat is the fourth. But I think heat's going to become more important as time goes on. And it's the hardest thing to do to get the spam score down, and for the AI to get the spam score down and get the heat score down. Once I have the spam score and the heat score as perfect as it can get by repeating this 5 times and repeating this 5 times and then printing the article, in the next version of the article writer, I will have it iterate until this is perfect and this is perfect. So you're asking, okay, well, Josh, but then what do I do in the meantime then before you make this article that's going to take 20 hours of SEO work and literally will bring it down to, you just have to wait for 20 minutes while it's writing in the background. It's going to have to repeat this article a number of times. And the AI will think about it, repeat, think what's wrong, think, repeat, think, fix it, think, fix it, think, fix it, check, think, fix it, check, until all these scores are perfect or as perfect as the AI can get them and produce the article that you need that also has these very important ranking factors in it that we did not have before. That takes a lot of time, right, for me to build, and it's going to take 20 minutes to write in the background. But you can go and navigate and do other things while it's writing. You can set it to write and you can set it and forget it, and come back, and you just set 10 of them to write. You'll come back in, half an hour and they'll be done. And you've done your 10 articles for the day. Post 10 articles a day, 5 days a week, to have hundreds of pages on your site. So by the time you're done at the end of the few months, you have a site that has trust, and it's because you discovered which keywords were the easiest to rank for that made the most money. You have a successful site. You see the recipe. You see how it's going to make you money and how it's going to make you succeed. But you might think, okay, Josh, well, then how do I fix this article as before you get the beta out, or even after the beta is doing these things too? It might not do it perfectly because it's still not as smart as a human. How do I do this? Okay, well, this is what you do. Now, let me check here to see if the article we wrote is done, because I want to just see. Okay, here it is. So the article is done. And this is great. You see, it got it as good as it can get it. And it rewrote it. It's got a beautiful trading program table in here. It's got great lists. It's got great information. It's got expert insights. This is wonderful, right? It's comparing key features. It wants you to put an infographic here. It's telling you what you need to put in. It's telling you you should put in a video here. You need to have frequently asked questions. It's telling you about all these things here. So a lot of the stuff you need to fill out, it's telling you, hey, look it. You need to have your real testimonials here if you have them, or they would have grabbed them from the custom knowledge base if you have them. People have gone with the fake testimonials and ranked very well, but I recommend using actual testimonials if you have them. You need to put an infographic in here. It's saying, hey, we need a graphic. Hey, we should use a video. Hey, we should use these things. So you should go and fill those in if you want. If you don't, you can delete them. That's fine. But I would highly recommend it. So now you notice there's a bunch of stuff that's here still in the red though. So first off, it looks like the H1 is got some keyword stuffing here. It says it uses SEO optimization and repeats the exact match keyword. So the exact match is SEO optimization course. It says SEO courses. So I would ignore what it says. I make it a little strict just to protect people. This is not such a problem. And if you want to see what the body spam score is, the body spam score is perfect. So this is fine. It's not in the red. It's under the average, and it's under 50%. Which is 40 or 50%, which is where I would make it red. This is perfectly fine. You can leave the spam score alone. This is fine, right? Now, what would you check? The heat score is also fine. You got everything here. It does seem insightful, and it does write beyond the obvious. It does have a comprehensive description of the topic. It is the kind of page you'd want to bookmark or share with a friend or recommend. It's got this high quality content that you want. So these two are set. They're done. All I need to do now is boost up the semantic score and boost up the average predictability length, or reduce, actually, the average predictability length. Although you notice this, I'm not that far off. I'm at 48. I'm only 2 under 50. I'm not that far off, quite frankly. And this one's not that far off either. It's only 0.7 higher than it needs to be. Last time I checked the averages, 4.13 was correlated with position number 1 rankings. So it's not that far off, and it wrote actually a lot more than it usually does. I think that's because it duplicated itself here, I think. It says, let me see here. It's got top SEO training programs, comparison of features. Yeah, it's got good information. It's got it twice. So I would leave this alone, actually, quite frankly. Normally, it might be a little shorter. I got a nice long one out of this one, but most of the time, it's going to be a bit shorter. And that's by design as well. There's a myth in SEO that long articles rank better. They don't. They don't. It's a myth. It's just nothing more than a myth, nothing more than just SEO snake oil of guesseos who've been guessing about SEO for a long time. So if you believe this, I'm not trying to insult anybody. Don't worry about it. I'm not wagging my finger at you, but I'm here to tell you and save you time and money and help you and tell you that's a myth. Users like reading shorter articles, and the shorter the better. Also guarantees that Google can index and spider your entire page. Sometimes pages are too long. Google can't index them or spider them. So what I need to do, though, is make it a little bit longer, because I need a little bit of a boost of the semantic score. And then I need to reduce it. So how would I do that? Well, it's very easy. I would use the up score button and the down score button. They're super easy to use. This is what I would do. What you want to do is you want to go way over this so that when I bring it back down, this will be under the area I need, and this will get into the green area I need. So I highlight this and click the up score button. And if it is relevant, if it's possible, it will put more of the valuable entities that are highly scored. It'll put more of these valuable entities that are highly scored into your article. These highly scored words here, it's going to put them into the article. And so let's go down here, and every sentence, I'm going to upscore it. I'll replace it. That's fascinating here. This is a great example of when I wish I had CP. CP is the new chatbot that's going to go down here. I'm going to show it to you at the end of this, but this is where I would paste in this content. So it has these stars in it. I would go clean that out. Sometimes the AI does weird things. AI is still in its infancy, but you are on the cutting edge with it for sure. You know, another thing I could have done and just said, no, I don't want all this, but okay, let's rewrite this sentence as well. Every sentence, I find it and I replace it. You see it starts sticking in keywords is what it does. Replace it. See, it makes it longer. We go here, I'm probably already in the green. Oh, not quite. Boom, upscore that. Replace, upscore this, replace. If it is possible to put more keywords in a natural way, it will do so. So as not to break the spam score. Upscore this, replace, upscore this, replace. Okay, boom, it really did a good one there. So just replace this again. Yeah, we're starting to crawl up. I'd like to be around 55, quite frankly. So let's upscore this, replace it. Let's upscore this, replace it. You might want to replace Sarah Johnson with an actual SEO. It's just a placeholder really for you, but that content is vitally important, the AI is saying. Or you can just leave it run like this. It'd be like, yeah, Emily White. Google doesn't know that Emily White doesn't exist. You could run with it. We have. I would recommend filling it in with your real content or giving a custom knowledge base so it could fill in the blanks in the template that I showed you as you do it, but it's up to you. Okay, let's keep doing this. Let's start stuffing the testimonials with a little bit of keywords here. Boom. There we go. Let's do this one. Boom. Let's do this one. Boom. Yeah, they're getting chunkier. They're getting chunked up. Let's do this one, and let's do this one. Replace. And then... boom, 56. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to beef this up. I'm going to go right into the FAQ here. Beef this up. I'm going to beef this one up. Replace it. And I'm going to beef up the conclusion. Replace it. Boom. Okay, so now I'm going to rerun this. Now we're pretty high. Great. So now I'm going to rerun this, and it's probably going to go up. The score will probably go up. Yes, it did. See, so that's why this is called the upscore button, because it makes all the scores go up. It makes this go up and this go up, which could be good, but it makes this go up and this go up, which could be bad. So now, what do? Okay, well, now that I've got this as high as possible, as high as I can get it, you know, I might want to add even more content, quite frankly. I want to add even more content is what I want to do to make sure that I have this number as high enough. I want to go way over this number so that when I bring everything back down with the down score button, we get this score where we want it and this score where we want it. So I'm glad that this didn't work perfectly, because what I want to do is take this section, I want to paste it here, and then I want to say pros and cons to taking an SEO training course. And in here, I want to put the pros and cons. And how do I do that? I go to content, I go to product review AI, and I want to add in the pros and cons of what this is. And I want to also identify key decision-making factors of why people would want to take an SEO course. That's a very good one usually. I'm going to write this. Here we go. So I'm going to take the pros, I'm going to take the cons, and I cut that off, that's fine. And I'm going to take the key decision-making factors. I'm going to take all these. Oh, I got cut off, sadly. I'm going to take all these, I'm going to go Control-C. Now, if a problem ever like that happens, what you can just do is go to your ChatGPT and let ChatGPT rewrite this for you. CP, our own chatbot, will be there soon, but this is another pro tip. So I'm going to put this in here. Please rewrite and edit the above. Remove the weird characters and finish the sentences. There we go. I'll say enter. I wouldn't start writing with ChatGPT, but you can definitely edit what you put from our system in, because this is stuffing keywords in. This is building it with a special AI in mind to write high quality content for Google. So good. So it wrote it all for me here. Perfect. Perfect. Now I can take this So we'll take this like this, copy and paste this, and we will bring this, where was I? We'll close this, and we'll put this here, boom, perfect. So here, we have this all here now. This is gonna greatly increase things. And the key decision-making factors, this is a very important one. I would make this a heading 1 or a heading 2. I think it was heading 2 people were doing. Yep. So it's going to tell you the key decision-making factors. This makes a very high-quality article. That's very good stuff. Okay, so a little bit of formatting. There we go. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to save it to be sure I've saved it. I'm going to Control-A, Control-C just to make sure I have it in the paste buffer. Now what I'm going to do is go back to report and rerun this. This should be considerably higher. Here we go. Now it's considerably higher. Now this is when we go here and now we start downscoring it. So what do? We chunk it up. We chunk it up so that it has all the content we want and all the stuff we want and extra content. It's super helpful, and we're even beyond the word count now. Now we're gonna squash it. Now we're gonna take this, we're gonna rewrite this with much better writing and removing all the keywords that are stuffed in here that don't need to be stuffed in. I'll leave these alone probably. I'll leave those alone probably. I'll leave those alone. Now I'm going to squash this. Now I'm going to come back and squash this. And now you see it's smaller. It's taking keywords out. Squash this. Replace. What is this? 70. What is this? This should go down a bit. It might not be enough to go down. Yeah, that's moving in the right direction. Okay, we're going to squash this now. Now we're going to squash this. Now we're going to squash this testimonial. Now we're going to squash this. And so you just use the up score button from the top and down and use the down score button from the bottom and up. It's pretty simple to do. And then I'm going to rerun this. This is going down. Rerun this. This should be getting better. I might not have done enough. I'm still way over the word count. Yeah, but it's going down. So then you squash this one, and I go from the bottom up because Google's keywords at the top, in the top 100, is more important and they have more weight. Squash this, squash this, squash this. Also makes it's better writing, makes it punchier. Squash this big chunky paragraph. This paragraph is chunked. Okay, there we go. Boom. Yeah, now we're almost in the zone we want to be in. So you got to do it just right. We're getting this better. This is going to go down a bit here. That one is getting better, very close to where we want to be. Boom, here. This might be enough. This one here, that's probably going to be enough. This is probably going to be perfect. Let's go ruin this one. Not quite. We could run with this if we wanted, quite frankly. This is close enough to run with it if we wanted. Remember, the body score here is not that bad. We just want to rerun the spam score to make sure we're good. We're only 0.15 off where we need to be, 0.18 off. This is going to be fine. We're only 1 over where we need to be. This will be fine now. You can run with this, right? We just want to double check and run the spam score to see if that's going to rerun. Sorry, that's going to rerun the title. Now I think it's going to put the body there. Just in case it's stuffed. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're still good on the body here. Let's rerun the body score here just to make sure we didn't stuff in any keywords when we were stuffing in keywords that are to exact match. Yeah, it's perfect. It's fine. A quality rater would likely pass this page for high ranking on Google search engine. Boom. We analyze it with AI just like Google does. So let's do this paragraph. Let's just see if we can get it absolutely perfect. Rerun this. Rerun this. Yeah, it's around the same. So the last one is I would start rerunning this, and you'd probably be perfect. Let's downscore this, or very close to it anyway. As close as I would bother getting. Rerun this. We're already in the green. That's pretty good. That's as good as I would bother getting. This being a 0.22 over is not that big of a deal. This will still correlate with spot number 2 or 3 rankings. If you're trying to rank this and you're like, Josh, I've done everything I can, maybe get this a little bit lower, but you don't even have to bother. This is 0.1 off. 4.3 is not a bad score. I just put this in the red, again, just to be a little strict, because some people are like, get keyword crazy, and they're like, I want to stuff all the keywords in here. Let's find more keywords and stuff them in. What are the keywords? They want to go nuts. They're like, oh, I got to stuff this in more. I have to make sure I say this somewhere. Oh, God, I have to make sure I say optimization, somewhere. I would recommend that, actually, because it's spelled with the S. So I would change this to this is what I would do, and save it and recheck the work. And you're going to see that optimization is being used now. Where is it? Optimize. Boom. Yeah, here it is. Now it's being used once. You see, it was a 10-point word, so it's very important. So there you got the spread, and it's matching that spelling, which is what you decided to rank for, because it was easy to rank for it because everyone overlooked it because it got the Canadian British spelling, I believe. So people in Canada or Britain will get more rankings from this. We'll get more from this, or anyone who spells it in the U.S. too, possibly. So that's it, guys. It's pretty easy. You got to be fairly close, but this is for the title again, or the H1. It's like this is a little too for it. Best SEO training 2024. You can decide to just roll with one of these. That would even make this slightly less, maybe, quite possibly. And if you're a little bit close to this, that's fine. It's going to fluctuate a little bit. That's perfectly fine. It's a stochastic model. Stochastic is a Greek word that etymologically, it's the root of the word cast, to throw. So stochasticism is your aim, is to throw, to cast, to throw. And when you throw a dart, it has some movement in the variation of where it's going to land. There is some quantum probability in it. And that's what the AI models are. They have some quantum probability in it. They are a quantum model that's going to vary slightly. And so this number is going to go up and down, but being 0.2 off is fine. Green here is fine. I could have been 1 over. That'd be fine too. I could have stopped this 5 minutes ago and moved on to another page. So that's how you do it, guys. It's really simple. You generate the article. You use a custom knowledge base. You can also get this generated at the same time if you wanted. Use a custom knowledge base. And then when it's done, you chunk it up by starting at the top. You highlight a paragraph and chunk it up. And then what you do is you go way over on this. Then what you do is you squash it at the end to get this down and this down with better writing. And you do it all the way from the top to the bottom. And if you need to add more content to make sure you're way over the score so that when you reduce the whole thing to get this close, you've got the score in the right spot, what you do is you go here into content. You can use the helpful content update and add some of this stuff, but we've pretty much added this already. I would go to the product review AI, which doesn't have to be a product, right? It's the review AI. This will help boost you for any kind of article. And I like doing the pros and cons and the key decision-making factors. Because look at this. This is really helpful for the user, right? This is really telling them the factors that they need to consider to make a well-informed decision. And that is exactly the kind of content, the high-quality content that Google wants to rank. I know this for a fact. I know this for a statistical fact. So that's why we have it in here, guys. And it's easy to add the content. You chunk it up from the top to bottom, add the content, then you squash it from the bottom up until you get these scores perfect. It'll take 5 minutes per article. And then in the future, you won't even have to do that. Our article will, basically our AI is going to repeat that process, but behind the scenes. And it should come out almost perfect from the first print anyway. So we've already taken 20 hours of SEO work from research, researching your competitors, and building the article. We've already taken 20 hours of work and like $2,000 cost per page for a US writer and brought that down to 20 minutes. And, if you're on the $144 per month plan, $144 in cost, we've reduced time 99% and we've reduced cost 99%, or some high percentile like that, about 90% reduction on cost, approximately on cost and on time. You cannot beat that. That is the promise of AI. And let me show you what's going to happen in the future. Let me go to staging here. In staging, I could show you one of our articles here, photo booth rental. And you can see, you can even chat with our new chatbot that's coming out. And it's going to become smarter over time, but you can chat with the article and say, hey, can you rewrite the first paragraph and include mention of my product, Superbooth? And I say, do it. And so CP will think about that. And basically it has complete memory of this article and how it was built. And in the future, it's going to have access to all the data points in the system. So you could say, hey, put these more keywords in here. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. And you'll be able to add it automatically. Right now, you would copy and paste the content that it comes up with. So CP is thinking about it. It's going to rewrite the first paragraph and include the mention of my product, my fictitious product called Superbooth. I could have also put that in the custom knowledge base. When I generated this article, I could have put it in here as well. And that would have worked. Oops. I didn't want to do that. But anyway, now you can copy and paste this, take it from here, copy and paste this here into the article. and you can get CP to do a lot of work for you here and explain stuff to you too. Can you explain how to do SEO here? I accidentally clicked the generate article button, so it's going to keep saying, hey, I'm going to generate this article. But I think the chatbot will still work. So CP can also give you SEO advice. CP can also talk to you about what's going on, about how to do SEO in here and how to do SEO in general. It's going to be a complete SEO consultant in a box. It'll focus on the system of how to use SEO Copilot, and it'll focus on page. Here you see the answer. So how to perform SEO and SEO Copilot, optimizing your content, understand the big 4 scores. It'll explain the big 4 scores to you. It'll understand readability, engagement, the up score and down score buttons, how to use them, the down score button, and the step-by-step optimization process. It tells you basically exactly what I just mentioned of what you should be doing for up scoring the content from the top to the bottom, chonk it up, and then squash it. Just remember, chonk it up from top to bottom, and then squash it from bottom to top. And that's how you'll get these numbers perfectly in the green. All right, guys, I hope you're enjoying the new system. Very exciting days moving ahead. We've reduced cost and time in the high percentile of 90% or higher. This is the time to do SEO, guys. This is the time to grasp it yourself. And if you have any questions, email me at joshbashinsky@gmail.com. Email me with any questions. I'd be very happy to answer any of your questions. I'd love to hear your success stories. I'd love to hear how that's working for you. If you want to know how well we're doing, go to bit.ly/SEO proof and see the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds per month of ranking successes we're getting. I know we're getting tons of successes here. Email me. I want to know the successes you are getting as well when you're optimizing your content. And good luck in the search, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.